Whatever project you decide to develop, there are some features that are important in an Erasmus Plus Youth in Action project. First of all, projects should be educational. It is important that there are moments during the project when participants have the time and support to reflect on their learning process and think about how this learning can be useful for them. The Youth Pass certificate is a tool that has been created to document and recognise this learning. By using Youth Pass, we aim to improve the recognition of non-formal learning across borders and sectors. This can happen in very different ways, but always in accordance with the principles of non-formal learning. Impact and dissemination of results. Projects are always dedicated to a certain target group and have a limited number of participants, but their results may be highly relevant and interesting to other people, even in fields not covered by the project. So it is up to the individual projects to develop strategies and methods to ensure that others can easily access what has been produced. We aim to give participating organisations the opportunity to communicate and share outcomes achieved by their project, thus extending the impact of such projects, improving their sustainability and justifying the European added value of Erasmus+. Erasmus+ promotes the open access to materials, documents and media that are useful for learning, teaching, training and youth work and are produced by projects funded by the programme. Beneficiaries of Erasmus+ grants who produce such materials must make them available to the public in digital form, freely accessible on the internet under open licenses, with possible limits linked to relevance, privacy and respect for intellectual property. All Erasmus+ projects include a strong international dimension. In each project, there is cooperation with at least one other EU or partner country, and in Key Action 2, you can also cooperate with other countries around the world. It is very important to get as much as possible out of this cooperation in terms of exchanging and learning from each other, developing intercultural competences, respecting different points of view, and creating a European identity. Multilingualism is also very important in any European project and is a powerful symbol of the EU's aspiration to be united in diversity. Foreign languages have a prominent role among the skills that will help equip people better for the future. The lack of language competences is one of the main barriers to participation in European education, training and youth programs. So it is important to be creative in your projects in order to give as many people as possible the opportunity to participate without too many language barriers. The EU has set a goal for every citizen to have the opportunity to acquire at least 2 foreign languages from an early age. The promotion of language learning and linguistic diversity is one of the specific objectives of the programme. The Erasmus+ programme aims to promote equity and inclusion by facilitating access to learners from disadvantaged backgrounds and with fewer opportunities compared to their peers. These people are at a disadvantage because of personal difficulties or obstacles that limit or prevent them from taking part in transnational projects. The obstacles or difficulties these people may face are disability, educational difficulties, economic obstacles, cultural differences, health problems, social obstacles, geographical obstacles. Protection and safety of participants involved in Erasmus+ projects are important principles of the programme. Everyone participating in the Erasmus+ programme should have the opportunity to take full advantage of the opportunities for personal and professional development and learning. This can only be assured in a safe environment, which respects and protects the rights of everyone involved. To this end, each organisation participating in the Erasmus+ programme must have effective procedures and arrangements in place to promote and guarantee the safety and protection of the participants in their project. This concerns physical, but also psychological safety. So, when planning a project, make sure you organise insurance. There is a first aid kit. People know what to do and who to contact in case of. You respect people's differences and sensibilities, whether related to gender issues, religious issues, or even individual aspects.
So the court will eventually ask you some questions.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Go sit down, please, apart from John. Could you please identify yourself
John Doe,
and your address?
999 Lexby Avenue.
Do you know who everybody is in court today?
No.
Right. Well, you know who's sitting next to you on the other side. You've got your solicitor one side of you and your mum on the other side. What's your name, please?
Enid Doe.
Thank you. And you have the YGS officer sitting over here and the prosecution over there. Yeah?
Yeah.
You happy with that?
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about the people in court?
That's fine.
And of course, we three are the magistrates who will sit in this case. You'd like to put the charge, please?
John, there's one charge against you this morning that I need to put to you. Before I do that, I have to check you understand that if you are guilty of the offence and plead guilty straight away, that's when the court will be able to impose the greatest reduction on any sentence. Alternatively, if you're not guilty of the offence and you plead not guilty, there will have to be a trial. And if you're found guilty, then the sentence will likely be greater. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Well, John, there's one charge against you, which is that on the 26th of February this year, on Newham Street in Harrogate, you stole car batteries to a value of £25 belonging to George Roberts. Do you plead guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Right. Could you be seated, sir?
Yeah, sit down, but listen very carefully to what's been said. And this lady over here is the CPS solicitor who will present the case.
Your Worships, I'm Louise Hardy and I appear on behalf of the Crown. John appears before the court today for the offence of theft. This is the case as presented. On the 26th of February this year, John along with two friends stole car batteries. These were taken from the victim's yard located in Newham Street, Harrogate.
Thank you. John, your solicitor, Mrs McCartney, will now stand up and tell us about you.
John has pleaded guilty at the first opportunity and he's very remorseful for what he's done. His mum is with him today to show how supportive she is of John and of his future. I would like to point out that the batteries were returned to the victim at the earliest opportunity and no financial losses were incurred to the victim as of this consequence. John is at college at the moment and he does not want this to impact on his future life and his education at the moment, so I would like that to be taken into consideration. The group of friends that John was with when the offence happened are a bad influence on John. John is of good character when he's not with these group of people, so I would like that to be taken into consideration.
Mrs Doe, would you like to say anything about John that you'd like us to know?
He's really good at home. It's not like him to do something like this. He's a good lad, normally. I think it's just some of the friends he's met recently since he's been in his last year at school. He doesn't really like it at school. He does much better when he's at home.
We'll now hear from the YGS, as you've been on reprimand, they'll know a little bit about you and they can tell us a bit more about how you've acted since the offence. Mr Shue.
Good morning, Your Worships. John appears today for the first time for the offence of theft, and as you've heard, he's already received a reprimand in 2011 for criminal damage and a final warning in November 2012 for shoplifting. As my colleague has outlined, there appear to be some issues evident in John's life that would benefit from some support. Given John's guilty plea and his first time in court, I would recommend that a referral order is the most suitable and proportionate disposal that would also manage John's risk of reoffending.
Right, John, will you stand up, please? Why did you do such a stupid thing like this?
Well, I've traded scrap metal in before and we were just walking past, so I thought we saw them and realised how much they were worth. So I didn't think anyone would mind, but then we obviously got caught and police came, so obviously we knew it was wrong.
Do you not think anything about the victim?
At the time I wasn't thinking about anything else, it's just one of them flash decisions, you know what I mean, that pop into your head and you're like, oh yeah, but obviously it wasn't the best of ideas.
John, have you anything else you'd like to tell us before we go and decide?
Just like to say that I'm really sorry for what I've done, and I hope you won't be too harsh.
Thank you. You may sit down. Okay. You stand up, please, John. Right, we've listened to what everybody said, especially what you and your mum said as well, to find out what you really like, and we've come up with certain recommendations. Right, for the offence of theft of the battery, we're making a referral order for 4 months. Even though you've already been told by the YGS what the referral order is, you listen very carefully to what I have to say. You'll meet a panel of people who will give the following facts about your offending. You'll say that you took this stuff, you walked away, you didn't think of who it affected whatsoever, you were with a gang of other people, all that sort of stuff will be taken into account. We'll ask you to agree and sign a contract. That will include activities to stop you offending again. The order starts on the day you sign the contract, so it's not today, it's the day you sign the contract. Do you understand that? Just wait for a copy of your order before you leave, and in that order we would like to see the following. We'd like to see you do some reparation towards the garage, and we'd like the YGS to look at the peer pressure, because we seem to think that's a great part of your offending behaviour, is that your peers are working with you. We want you to think first. So you think before you pick something up and walk off with it. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Yeah? And we want them to help you get into either training or education so you can fulfil your ambitions and carry on. Have you any questions for us?
No, that's fine, thank you.
Do you understand everything that I've said to you today?
Yes.
Mrs. Dole, we've had your means form handed in here. I see your own benefits. Therefore, the £100 will be taken off you at £5 per week. First payment 14 days. Do you understand?
Yeah, all right. I'm gonna. Is it all right if I make John pay some of it back out of his money?
We would like to see that, because it's his debt, really, even though you have to pay it. It's him who's caused it.
Yeah, well I will, because I can't really afford to be doing that for him.
Right, so what we'll do is we'll be in touch, we'll write to you with the appointment date. Your Justice Officer will come out, Rebecca Allen, that will be, and she will write a report.
When will they come? Will they come in the daytime?
Well, what's convenient to yourselves, really. If you're in during the day, that's, Rebecca will be in touch with a suitable time for all of you, so that it's a convenient appointment. Can you make sure that you sign this for me?
Yeah.